Evergreen. Hi, Evergreen. Let's do Chapter 7, Lesson 4, Rectangles, Rhombuses, and Squares. A square is a quadrilateral, all of whose sides and angles are equal. So all sides are equal, all angles are equal. It is also true that every square is a rhombus because rhombuses have all equal sides and all equal angles as well. So, properties of a square. Well, the diagonals have two congruent diagonals that intersect at right angles and bisect each other. The diagonals bisect their interior angles. All sides are equal and all sides are parallel, and the interior angles all add to 190, 90, 90, 90, 90, just like a rectangle. A rhombus is a quadrilateral, all of whose sides are equal. So here we are, but this one has not equal angles, okay? So I actually misspoke earlier. Rhombuses do not have equal angles. They have equal angles in the sense that the angles opposite each other are equal, like a parallelogram, but A, B, C, and D are not equal, like a square, they're all 90. So all four sides are equal, opposite sides are parallel, opposite angles are equal, diagonals are perpendicular, and they bisect each other at a 90 degrees. So they're perpendicular because they bisect at 90 degrees. And then the adjacent angles always add to 180. All rectangles are parallelograms. Now, I know we think of parallelograms as these, diagonal lined rectangles, kind of, but actually, rectangles are parallelograms because they follow all the rules. Both opposite sides are parallel. Basically, parallelograms have two sets of parallel lines. And so, here we are. This is a little diagram to show us all the different types of quadrilaterals. And so, all quadrilaterals have four sides. And now, all parallelograms have four sides. And a rectangle is a parallelogram, and it's also a square is a rectangle, and a square is a parallelogram. And all of these things are quadrilaterals. If we go over here on the right side, we have a rhombus is a parallelogram, a square is a rhombus, and a rhombus is a parallelogram. And all of these are quadrilaterals. Now, if you think about it, a rhombus and a square have four equal sides. A rectangle has two equal sides and two equal sides, right? Two different sets of parallel or equal sides. But all of these have parallel, or they're all parallelograms because they all have a top and a bottom that are parallel and a left and a right that are parallel. Two sets of parallel lines. That's what makes something a parallelogram. Okay, all rhombuses are parallelograms, just like we talked about. Here's our diagram again with the rhombus. The diagonals of a rectangle are equal. So if we draw a line from top to the bottom corner and the right top to the bottom left corner, these two lines that we create are equal. They bisect each other perfectly, right in the middle. The diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular, so that means that they intersect at a 90-degree angle. Okay, so let's answer some questions. Because ABCD is a rectangle, ABCD, angle A is equal to angle C, and angle B is equal to angle D. Why is this true in a rectangle? Well, all the angles of a rectangle are equal. They all are 90 degrees. Therefore, ABCD is a parallelogram. Why? Well, a quadrilateral is a parallelogram if the opposite angles are equal. So D and B are equal, A and C are equal. Okay, here's another one. Here's a rhombus now. ABCD is a rhombus. AB is equal to DC, and AD is equal to BC. So the opposite sides are equal. Well, why? Well, because the sides of a rhombus are equal. All of them are equal. Therefore, ABCD is a parallelogram. Why? Well, a quadrilateral is a parallelogram if its opposite sides are equal. So the opposite angles are equal, and the opposite sides are equal. Opposite angles, opposite sides make it a parallelogram. Okay, here's a new rectangle. ABCD is a rectangle, angle BAD, so we're talking about this left corner, is congruent or equal to angle CDA. CDA. So basically, A and D are equal. Why do we know this from a rectangle? Well, all the angles of a rectangle are equal. So B is equal to A is equal to D is equal to C, and you could keep going. They're all equal to each other. ABCD is a parallelogram. Why? Well, all rectangles are parallelograms. So once we realize that it's a rectangle, and we know, therefore, it's a parallelogram because the opposite sides are equal and the opposite angles are equal. AB equals DC, these opposite sides. Yes, the opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. AD is equal to AD. Oh, when it says the same thing on both sides, it is the reflexive axiom. Triangle ABD, so this top triangle is equal to CDA, so this top right triangle, why is this true? Well, they have equal sides, they have equal angles, therefore, side angle side. AC equals BD. Let's look at this. Oh, the two diagonals. AC is equal to BD. Well, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are equal. So we already talked about these two triangles. And so therefore we know that their diagonal lines are equal because their sides and their angles are equal to the other sides. Okay, here's a rhombus now. ABCD is a rhombus. AB is equal to BC. So AB is equal to BC. AD is equal to DC. So therefore we know all the sides are equal. All the sides of the rhombus are equal, just like a square. AC is perpendicular to BD. We know this because in a plane to endpoints, each equidistance from the endpoints of a line segment determine the perpendicular bisector of the line segment. To say this simpler, the bisectors of a rhombus are always perpendicular. Okay, great job. I will see you soon.